Hey everybody, welcome back to Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara, aka just a solo one for me today. Tara has moved from one apartment to another, so she has a lot going on right now. Plus, currently we have 10-hour difference because we moved to Estonia for a few years. And today, here in Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara, before I start on our subject, I want to make sure that I ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would mean the absolute world to me and Tara. We are huge mental health advocates, and we're so grateful for you to be here. I really want you to subscribe. Don't miss an episode and share with all the people you know and love who could benefit from our podcast. So let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be focusing on the beauty of accepting yourself in a culture that profits from insecurity. So I want to start with a question. Have you ever wondered why the ancient Greek philosophers spent so much of their lives asking one simple question? What is beauty? Not what is fashionable, not what is desirable, not what sells, but what beauty truly is. Long before advertisements, airbrushed magazine covers, social media filters, and billion-dollar beauty industries, philosophers sat beneath olive trees discussing beauty, truth, character, and what makes a life worth living. I often wonder what they would make of the world we live in today. Would they recognize beauty in a face with no wrinkles? Or would they recognize it in a woman who has lived through heartbreak, joy, disappointment, resilience, growth, love, possibly cancer? Welcome back to our podcast, Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. I want to have a conversation with every woman who has ever felt the pressure to disappear simply because she has celebrated another birthday, especially if you're over 40. I would say for me, especially 40 is hitting like a ton of bricks. If you looked in the mirror recently and wondered whether the world values you less than it once did, and if you've ever been caught thinking that perhaps it's time to step into the background, today I want to remind you of something that our culture desperately needs to hear. You were never meant to hide. Somewhere along the way, society quietly convinced women that growing older is a problem to solve. Think about how strange that is. Also, I want to add, have you ever seen the culture pushing change for men as much as they are pushing it for women? Every single one of us hopes to grow older. We celebrate birthdays. We wish our loved ones long and healthy lives. We tell children they have their whole lives ahead of them. Yet somehow, when women actually achieve what every human being hopes for, a long life, hopefully a very healthy one, we're told to apologize for looking like we've lived it. How did we get here? The answer didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly and gradually. Commercial by commercial, magazine cover by magazine cover, social media post by social media post, spoonful by spoonful, until many women, including myself, began believing that aging was something to fight instead of something to celebrate. Here's something worth remembering. Entire industries depend on you believing you are not enough. I will say this again. Entire industries depend on you believing you are not enough. They depend on your insecurity. If you woke up tomorrow completely at peace with yourself, if you genuinely believed you were already worthy, already beautiful, already enough, how many products would suddenly become unnecessary? This isn't about saying beauty products are bad. Look at me. I love my blue mascara. Sometimes I put on my red lipstick. I put on the eyebrows. It makes me feel a little bit better. It isn't about criticizing women who enjoy makeup, like myself, skincare, fashion, or hair color. Those things can be very creative. They can be joyful. They can be forms of self-expression. I know this to be true for me because when I do, like I said, put on my blue mascara, my red lipstick, and get my hair done, I feel amazing. But here's the but. Not the but, the but, B-U-T. The problem begins when these things become requirements instead of choices. When we're told that we must erase every sign that we've lived in order to deserve respect. That's marketing, marketing to its finest, because it works. There's a profound difference. I've noticed something remarkable about women over 40. Many of us survive things that our younger selves could have never imagined. We've experienced loss. We've experienced love, made mistakes, started over. We've built careers, raised children, homeschooled children, hashtag our family, cared for aging parents, survived illnesses, survived heartbreak, rebuild our lives from nothing. Those experiences leave marks. Not just on our faces, quite literally, on our hearts, on our perspectives, on the way we treat other people. And I can't help but wonder, why aren't those marks celebrated? Why do we admire flawless skin more than resilience? Why do we admire youth more than wisdom? Why do we celebrate smooth foreheads while overlooking women who have spent decades comforting others, solving problems, holding families together, and continuing to stand while life wanted them to fall? Those women, you women, you and I deserve celebrating. I think we've confused looking young with being beautiful. The two are not the same thing. Youth is temporary. Beauty can deepen. Real beauty grows. It learns. Real beauty forgives. It becomes kinder, develops patience, becomes impossible to fake. And when I think on the women who have made the greatest impression on my life, it was rarely because they looked 25 forever. It was because of the way they made people feel. Their kindness, confidence, laughter, wisdom, honesty, warmth. The fact they pick up the cell phone and they don't send me the voicemail, hashtag you know who you are, who sends me the voicemail. Naughty, naughty, shame on you. Those qualities become more valuable with time, not less valuable. Here's something advertisers rarely tells us all, women. Confidence is difficult to sell to a woman who truly accepts herself and doesn't panic every time a new wrinkle appears. That woman is me. That woman needs to be you. She doesn't believe her value disappears because another birthday arrives. Hashtag 40 this year. I'm only like a month away. She celebrates her birthday with a delicious cake and a smile on her face. She doesn't feel the need to constantly prove she's still worthy of attention. She knows her worth isn't determined by strangers. And that kind of confidence is incredibly powerful. Perhaps that's why insecurity has become such a profitable business. Because confident women are difficult to manipulate. I want to speak for a moment to the woman who has quietly started hiding, including my own mother. Maybe you've stopped wearing clothes that make you feel joyful because someone told you they weren't appropriate for your age. Maybe you've stopped taking photographs. Maybe you avoid social events. Maybe you don't leave the house at all. Maybe you've convinced yourself that younger women deserve to be seen more than you do. Maybe you hesitate before speaking because you think your voice matters less now. If any of that sounds familiar, please don't disappear before your life is over. Please don't disappear before your life is over. Don't shrink yourself to make other people comfortable. Don't spend the next 30 or 40 years apologizing for surviving the first 40. The world doesn't need fewer experienced women. It needs more. We need women who have perspective, women who have compassion, women who know what truly matters, women who understand that perfection was never the goal. Living was. Living a badass life is the goal. living a life where self-love and respect is something we demand daily, not just once a week. One of the greatest gifts that comes with age is clarity. When we're younger, many of us spend, me included, enormous amounts of energy wondering what everybody else thinks. As we grow older, something remarkable begins to happen. We begin asking different questions. Am I happy? Am I living according to my values? Who deserves my time? What truly matters? Those questions change everything. And perhaps they are far more important than asking whether we've developed another laugh line, because laugh lines tell a story too. They remind us that joy visited our lives often enough to leave an imprint. And this is making me emotional. Imagine if we celebrated women for everything they've become. Imagine greeting a woman turning 50 with the same excitement we greet someone graduating from a university. Imagine saying, look at everything you've learned. Look at everything you've survived. Look at the wisdom you've gathered. What if aging wasn't viewed as losing something? What if it was viewed as gaining something? Because every decade gives us more experience, more understanding, more resilience, more compassion. And those are extraordinary achievements. Today, I want to offer you a challenge, not a beauty challenge, a life challenge. The next time you catch yourself criticizing your reflection, pause. Instead of asking, what's wrong with my face? Ask yourself, what has this face witnessed? What has it smiled through? What has it cried through? Who has it comforted? What victories has it celebrated? What losses has it survived? And suddenly the conversation changes. Instead of seeing flaws, you begin seeing evidence of a life. As we come to the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with something really practical, something you can carry into today, not to next week, not next month, today. When you leave your house, make one conscious decision not to hide. Smile without worrying about your laugh lines. Take the photograph. Wear the color you love. Speak up in the meeting. Start the project. Say yes to the invitation. Look people in the eye. Well, if you look at them in the middle here, then you can kind of look like you're looking at them in both eyes at the same time. Allow yourself to be seen, because the world has enough women trying to disappear. It needs women who have lived, women who refuse to believe that their best years are measured by the smoothness of their skin, women who understand that beauty was never supposed to expire. If today's conversation stays with you, let it be this one thought. There is extraordinary beauty in accepting yourself in a culture that profits from your insecurity. Every single time you choose self-respect over self-criticism, every single time you reject the message that you are somehow less because you have grown older, every single time you decide to remain visible instead of hiding, you reclaim something priceless. No company can manufacture it. No advertising can sell it back to you. No trend can take that away. It belongs with you. And it always has and always will. If you want more of these kind of podcasts, we are going to do a series on women over 40. It's going to be a 3-part series. Next one will take place next Thursday, so please tune in. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram for important updates, and iTunes. And I want you to celebrate women who have lived. Celebrate women who have learned, who have become, because beauty isn't found in pretending you haven't lived. Beauty is found in having the courage to live fully and refusing to hide because you have lived. All right, until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember, your age is not evidence that your beauty is fading. It's evidence that your life is unfolding. And that's something worth celebrating every single day. Don't you agree? Have a beautiful day, everyone. This is Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. Take care of yourself because you're beautiful. Until next time.